faith without works is dead. Today's video is about faith, and obviously, maybe not obviously, but we don't get into heaven by our works. We get into heaven by our faith. If you're a Christian, you know this, that maybe you've heard this, that faith without works is a dead faith. And what does this mean, right? What does that mean? Well, your faith, if you have true, deep faith and you love God, you'll start naturally wanting and desiring the things that God commands of us, right? You'll start slowly, once you put your faith in Jesus, the Holy Spirit comes into you, you'll eventually start gaining the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. And obviously we're not going to have those fruits right away, right? You put your faith in Jesus, it's not going to be right away. But it's really cool how God works, where it's like He changes you from the inside out. He turns you from a disgusting, dirty mess, and He turns you to something beautiful, right? I often hear this analogy, and it's like you don't go to the doctor unless you're sick. You don't take a shower unless you're dirty, right? So Jesus came to call the unrighteous, right? The righteous, they've already been saved, they've already been healed. Jesus came for the sick and the needy. And if you don't feel like you can take that step into that shower because you feel just so dirty, that's what the shower's for. Or you don't go to the shower if you're already clean, you go if you're dirty. And that's why oftentimes, it's like, myself included, that's where we find Jesus. That's where people find their faith, is in their lowest times, because that's when you need Jesus the most. Or you don't realize you need Jesus until you're on your knees and you feel defeated, right? That's when you realize you really need Jesus. Before then, and when you're on your high horse, right, everything's going good for you, why would you need Jesus? You got it all yourself, right? And that's what you think until things inevitably will go wrong. No one has a perfect life, dude. Everyone's gonna have, everyone human's gonna have issues in their life. I've had things in my life, right? Everyone's gonna have that. And it's about how you deal with those things. And right, going to Jesus was probably the biggest thing I could have ever done, the most important thing I could have ever done, and probably the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. And He really does change you. Like, you're not the same in the best way possible. Like, things before that you maybe enjoyed that were sinful, you don't necessarily enjoy them anymore. You feel like kind of unrest, you feel conviction, and you kind of start to lose that desire for them. And when you do those things again, and you fall back into that, you're like, wow, I'm so sorry, or why did I do that? Like, you beat yourself up because you hate the sin so much. And when you hate sin, you grow in your love for God, right? And I think it was Paul that said, the things I do, or things I want to do, I do not do, but the things I don't want to do, I do. Something along those lines. And that's so true, because it's like, obviously I don't want to sin, but I do sin. Everyone sins, right? But I also have a Bible verse. It's Matthew 21, 18 through 22. And it's talking about Jesus, and He goes to this fig tree, and He sees that, yes, there's leaves symbolizing, yes, they have faith, but the fig tree isn't producing any fruit, and Jesus curses the fruit. So ask yourself this: are you a Christian who says they're a Christian and who has faith, but you lack fruit? You have you lack fruit, right? Are you a Christian where maybe you say you're a Christian, but your actions are the complete opposite? And I know I have had my moments where people have been like, are you really Christian? You know what I'm saying? And that's like it's a horrible feeling. But you need that sometimes. You need to be like, okay, I say I'm a Christian, but I don't act like it. Honestly and truthfully, I don't act like it at all. No one would see me and be like, yeah, he's a Christian. So I encourage you guys to move forward with that and say, you know what? I haven't been the best Christian, but now this is my time to get back on that, get right with God, and grow my faith, and be the man or woman of God that I really want to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.